You have a double. Not a metaphor. Not a mood. Not a side of you. A second one. Your face, somewhere else, right now. People have been meeting theirs for 200 years, and they wrote it down. Names. Dates. Towns. Witnesses who put their own name to it. The records disagree about almost everything. Except one detail. The people who meet their double don't tend to live very long afterwards. There's a reason for that. It isn't the one you're about to guess. Kevin doesn't know that. Kevin is fine. Kevin has never been more fine. In 1845, 13 girls watched their new French teacher write on a blackboard. Her name was Émilie Saget, and by every account, she was good at the job. She was at the blackboard writing, and then she was at the blackboard twice. The second one stood beside her, in the same dress, standing the same way. When Saget raised her arm, it raised its arm. It followed every stroke she made. It just wasn't holding any chalk. Saget finished the sentence, put the chalk down, turned around to 13 girls who had stopped breathing. She hadn't noticed anything. The one they all remembered happened that summer. 42 students were in the long hall doing embroidery. Saget was outside in the garden, picking flowers. They could all see her through the windows. A teacher got up from the chair at the front of the hall and left the room. The chair didn't stay empty. Two of them got up and walked toward it. One put out her hand and felt something push back. Faint. Like fine muslin. Like reaching into a curtain that isn't hanging there. The other one pushed her arm into it. It went partly through. It didn't move. It didn't look at her. Outside, through the window, Saget went on gathering flowers with all her usual energy. The thing in the chair moved like it was exhausted. Saget lost the job. When they told her why, she said she wasn't surprised. It was the 19th time. That's one teacher, in one school, in 1 year. Now here's Goethe. He just said goodbye to a girl he didn't want to leave. Riding away, he looked up and saw himself coming the other way on the same road, in a grey coat trimmed with gold. He didn't own a grey coat trimmed with gold. 8 years later, he rode that road in the other direction, going back to her, and realized halfway along what he'd put on that morning. Shelley saw his on a terrace in Italy, weeks before he drowned. It asked him a question. How long do you mean to be content? Mary Shelley wrote that down 6 weeks after he drowned. It's the only one of the 4 with any paperwork. And she added something else in the same letter, almost in passing. That he had often seen figures like that when he was ill. And Lincoln saw his in a mirror on the night he was elected. 2 reflections of his own face, one of them paler than the other. His wife told him what it meant. He would win the second term. He would not survive it. 4 people. 4 countries. 2 of them were dead inside 5 years. And the other 2 got told as though they had been. Here's what bothers me. These people never met. Different languages, different centuries, mostly unaware. The others existed. 2 poets, a president, and a French teacher in Latvia. They had no reason to agree on anything. And they agree on a very strange list. I've read it 4 times now, and I like it less each time. So either they were all copying from somebody, or nobody was copying from anybody. Hold that thought. It's almost always silent. Shelley's is the only one that ever spoke. And it asked a question rather than answering one. It doesn't acknowledge you. It's doing something else, and you're not part of it. And it doesn't hide. Not a shape at the end of a corridor. A classroom, mid-morning, 13 people watching. It copies you, badly. Not like a reflection. Like something working from a description. And there's a 5th one, nobody puts in the stories. Look at the state of the person seeing it. Shelley was ill and had been seeing things for years. Goethe was riding away from something he couldn't fix. Ghost stories are about the ghost. These aren't. Every one of them is about the condition of the person doing the looking. So we're going to do this properly. Something with your face is standing in the corner of the room. There are exactly 4 places it can have come from. 3 of them are real. That's the part I wasn't ready for. Door 1 is the boring one, so we'll do it first. There is a stranger walking around with your face. Not a relative. No shared grandmother. No shared anything. A photographer spent decades finding pairs of them and putting them side by side. In 2022, someone finally ran the pairs through the genetics. 32 pairs. The software picked out the 16 closest matches, and 9 of those shared more than 19,000 points in their DNA, across more than 3,700 genes. Far more than 2 strangers should. And not because they turned out to be related. They checked that. It's 32 pairs of mostly European faces, in black and white. It's a hint, not a law. But there are only so many ways to build a face. Run 8 billion of them, and you get collisions. So door 1 is real. It's just useless. A man in Ontario, with your jaw, is not the thing standing at the end of the bed. He's asleep. He's fine. He has no idea you exist. Kevin's got one now, by the way. Every time one of you clicks on something like this, another, Kevin turns up. Do it again, and there'll be 2 more of him. Door 2 needs the universe to be infinite. It might be. We don't know yet, but nothing we've measured says otherwise. If it is, then what's out there isn't a look-alike. It isn't a relative. It's you. Atom for atom, in the same arrangement, wearing what you're wearing, having this thought. There are only so many ways to arrange matter in a space your size. a huge number, but a finite one. And infinity outlasts any finite number, so eventually it has to start repeating, including you. Somebody worked out how far away the nearest one is. 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 29 meters. Nobody measured that. Nobody could. It's a counting argument. That many arrangements, that much room, that is not a number. That's a joke about a number. And notice what it isn't. It isn't another dimension. It isn't a parallel. Anything. It's a direction and a distance. You could point at it, you'd just never get there, and neither would they. Door 3 is the famous one. The other version of you, in the other version of everything, where you said yes instead of no. In 1957, a graduate student called Hugh Everett wrote it down properly. The universe never has to pick. Every outcome happens, and you happen along with it. One version of you each, every one of them. Certain it's the only one. Like a river forking. The water doesn't choose. Somewhere down one of those branches, there's a Kevin who didn't click on this. He's having a nice time. Everett called them relative states. Branches. The words, many worlds, are not in the paper. Not once. A physicist called Bryce DeWitt attached that name 13 years later, partly because he knew it would provoke people. It's the only part anyone remembers. So, can you get to 1? No. But not for the reason films tell you. There's no wall, no law forbidding it. In principle, the equations would let you. Here's what actually stops you. The moment anything as big as a person touches anything else, the branches stop being able to reach each other. Smeared out across every particle you're made of, and every particle you've ever bumped into. Not impossible. Just suppressed by a factor with more zeros in it than the universe has seconds. And there's a harder problem, which is whether that thing is even you. It isn't a copy running alongside you. It's a version that shared your entire history right up to a moment, and hasn't since. Whether that still counts as you is not a physics question. Physics hasn't got an opinion. That one's yours. Which leaves the 4th door. The one every ghost story is actually about. Something crossed over. Something got in. 3 doors are real. Behind this one, there's nothing at all. No mechanism. No candidate. Not even a bad theory. It's the only door in this video with an empty room behind it. Which is a problem. Because 42 girls in Latvia still saw something. Let's start with Lincoln, because Lincoln is easy. Nobody printed the story of the mirror until 3 months after he was shot. The prophecy, win the second term, don't survive it, got written down by people who already knew how it ended. Lincoln's own secretaries called one of the 2 men. It comes from unreliable and sensational, and an old mirror with imperfect glass throws a faint second image at an angle. Which is why it only worked from one spot on one sofa and stopped working after a couple of tries. Now Neuwelker. The school was real. It's in the records. You can look up who taught there. In 1845 and 1846, the French teacher at Nieuwelke was a Mademoiselle Feenlijn. There is no Emilie Saget in the register. An astronomer went looking for her birth record in the town she was supposed to be from, and found no family of that name at all. And the entire account, the blackboard, the chair, the muslin, the 19 schools, comes from one woman remembering it 14 years later, told to a man who was writing a book to prove ghosts were real. And the 42 is real. The number's right there in the 1860 book. Nobody made it up later. What's missing is the 42 people. In a century and a half, not one of the other girls has ever turned up. So that's that. Except for one thing that has bothered people for nearly 25 years. In 2002, in a hospital in Geneva, a 43-year-old woman was having her brain mapped. She had epilepsy that no drug would touch, so surgeons had placed electrodes on the surface of her brain to find where the seizures were starting. This is routine. You stimulate a spot. You note what happens. You move on. They put a current into a region on the right side, above and behind the ear, the angular gyrus. And she said, "I can see myself lying in the bed from above." They turned it up. She felt herself float. They changed it again, and her legs seemed to shorten and rise toward her face. They had a switch, and the switch moved her out of her own body. Not the double. Not yet. But it proves the thing that matters. Where you are is a picture. Your brain is drawing, and it can be edited from the outside with a wire. Because there are 3 versions of this, and the differences matter. You can see a figure of yourself and stay firmly inside your own body. You can leave your body and look down at it from the ceiling, which is what she did. And this is the one. You can see a second one of yourself and lose track of which one you're in. Both, or neither, or flickering between them. That third one is called heautoscopy. And that's the one in every single story we started with. A double that doesn't speak, that doesn't acknowledge you, that copies you badly, because it isn't a reflection. It's your own brain's model of your body, built from a description and shown to you from the outside. Goethe, writing it down 40 years later, said he saw the figure on the road. And I want to be exact here. Not with the eyes of the body, but with those of the mind. He had it. He just had no way to know he had it. Which leaves the last question, and it's the one I actually started with. Why is this frightening? A stranger's face is just a face. But a familiar face that's wrong is one of the worst feelings a person can have. And we know that because of what happens when the wiring for it breaks. There's a condition where a person looks at their mother and says, "That is not my mother. That is someone who looks exactly like her." They're not confused. They can describe her perfectly. They recognize every feature. What's missing is the feeling that's supposed to arrive with it. Recognizing someone isn't one thing. It's two. There's working out who it is. And there's the quiet signal underneath that says, and this one is safe. Cut the second one, and the first one keeps working perfectly. You get a face, you know, arriving cold. And the brain reaches for the only explanation that fits. Imposter. Most people would shake that off. It takes a second fault in the part of you that checks your own beliefs before the explanation hardens into certainty. But the reaching is automatic. That's not a superstition. Superstitions have to be taught, and whatever that system is, you're running it right now, on every face you see. Which is a decent guess at why a face that's almost right feels the way it does. We started with a pattern. Meet your double, and you don't last long. We spent 15 minutes proving the stories were made up. And they were. But there is a reason a pattern like that could form. And here it is. Heautoscopy is a symptom. It turns up alongside epilepsy, lesions, migraine, damage in specific places. In one series, 14 patients saw a double during a seizure. In 12 of them, the damage sat in the opposite half of the brain from the side. The double appeared on. It's used as a clue. Which side the double stands on can point to which side the trouble's on. So, for 200 years, people noticed that the ones who saw themselves tended not to be well for long. And they wrote down that the double had come to collect them. They weren't wrong, that it meant something. They just had the arrow backwards. The double wasn't the thing that was coming for you. It was the first sign that something already had. Nothing crosses over. Nothing gets in. There's no door. There is a strip of tissue above and behind your right ear that builds the model of where you are and holds it steady every second of your life and never mentions it. And deeper in, on the other side, folded away where you'd need a scanner to find it, is the part that keeps that model down to 1. On the day that slips, you'll meet somebody standing in the corner of the room, wearing your face, and you will be certain, completely certain, that it came from somewhere else.